In today's video, we're going to take a look at the new RJM MEGX Mini Effect Gizmo X. Recently, RJM MEGX released the Mini Effect Gizmo X, an update to their original Mini Effect Gizmo. It's compact, MIDI controlled, it has 6 loops, and has 2 function switches so you can control various analog pedals or amp functions. The original Mini Effect Gizmo only had 5 loops. This supports 6 true bypass stereo loops, which can be bypassed or engaged at any time to prevent possible degradation of your signal. It also has a switchable input buffer and a tuner out, which also utilizes the input buffer, so there's no signal degradation. Being that it's so compact, you can put it on your pedal board or underneath, or in a rack drawer, similar to their full-size Effects Gizmo. You can use it with any MIDI controller, like the Mastermind series from RJM, and you can use more than one of these if you just daisy chain them using the MIDI in and out ports. The MEGX also gives you over 1,000 presets, which I think is pretty cool. It's incredibly intuitive and very user-friendly. When I sat down with it, it took me all of 10 minutes to get the hang of everything. You just plug your pedals into the loops, plug in your MIDI controller, and you can set the presets on board here. It's just very simple to use. The MEGX also has a USB-C port on the back, so you can connect it to your PC or Mac to use the editor software. And using the software, you can change the order of the loops, you can change the loops from stereo to split mono, change the name of your presets, turn the buffer on and off. Pretty much whatever you want to do that this is capable of can be done with the editor software. To use it though, you will need a USB-C to Type A USB cable. If you're going to use the iOS app that RJM released with this, you will need a Apple adapter, which is a little bit inconvenient, but such is Apple. So the newest and coolest feature, in my opinion, is the split mono option. So with this, you have 6 stereo loops. Using the editor software, you can actually configure this to have up to 12 mono loops. So all you need is a TRS-Y cable, and you can send them through each individual pedal, and you can control each of them independently of each other. And you can do that in the editor software. So if you have more mono pedals than stereo pedals, or if you're only using mono pedals, this can support that type of setup. RJM was kind enough to send out a Mastermind LT MIDI controller to use with the MEGX, so I'll be using this to show you how to program your effects and presets in different settings. So here we have the Mastermind LT MIDI controller and the Mini Effect Gizmo X. So I have this preset, so each individual preset on the LT changes the preset on the Mini Effect Gizmo. So the way to do that is to go to the settings of the LT. In this case, hold down foot switch 1 and 3 until the setup menu pops up. You scroll down to edit presets, and here you can adjust each individual preset and the MIDI PC and CC messages. So in this case, for preset 1, we'll scroll down until we hit the MEGX, which is the Mini Effect Gizmo. And here, if you select it, you'll see PC message number 1. For the MEGX, the PC message corresponds to the preset in the MEGX. So PC message 1 coming from the LT sets the MEGX to preset 1. PC message 2 sets the MEGX to preset 2, and so on and so forth. So I already preset it, so each individual preset changes the PC message from the Mini Effect Gizmo. So just to show you, if you come down to preset 2, scroll down to the MEGX, you'll see PC message 2 for preset 2. And then so on and so forth. In this video, we're just going to cover presets 1 through 8, just for the sake of brevity. So we'll exit the setup menu. And again, here you'll see that each individual preset changes the preset on the Mini Effect Gizmo. So the way to do that is you select the loops that you want, and turn them on or off using the buttons on the front panel. You can change the switches, you can turn the buffer on or turn it off. In this case, we'll leave it on. So when you have the loops activated like you want them, you'll hold down the buffer switch until all of the LEDs flash. That's your preset saved. So now if we come to preset 2 and then go back to preset 1, you'll see it saved the preset that we just saved. So again, we'll change the loops, turn off the switch, turn off the buffer. We'll hold the buffer switch down until the LEDs blink. Now that preset's saved. So if we come to preset 2, it'll change, and we go back to preset 1, it's the settings that we just made. So it'll be the same for every preset. Every one can be different. You can set them exactly how you want, turn which individual loops on or off using the buttons, the switches, and the buffer. So in this case, we'll come up to bank 2, preset 5 through 8, and you'll see preset 5 here changes 6, 7, and 8. It's a fairly simple process. It makes it easier if you connect it to your PC or Mac and use the Mastermind editor for the MIDI controller. There you can set all of your presets, the names, the PC messages, CC messages, anything you want. And RJM also released an editor for the Mini Effect Gizmo, so you can go in and name the presets, set the loops, the switches, the buffer, etc. And they also released an app for iOS, for iPad and iPhone, so you can also use that to connect to the Mini Effect Gizmo and change the settings that way as well. So here we have the Mini Effect Gizmo X editor software for Mac. On the front page here, you can see that you have all of your presets on the left side, and on the right side, you have all of the settings for each individual preset. There you can put the name of the preset, change the loop order, turn the buffer on and off, the tuner out, on or off your function switches, and turn on or off each individual loop. If we come over to the global settings, here you can see you can control the individual settings for the entire MEGX, where you can name each loop, you can set it for split mono or stereo, or engage fuzz mode, which places that particular loop before the input buffer. So coming back to our presets, so here we're going to turn on certain loops to engage them for that particular preset and change the loop order for that preset. And you can do this for all 1024 presets and change any of the individual settings. Personally, I think this is pretty ingenious. There aren't many MIDI switchers on the market that have as many features as this does. There are other ones, of course, like the Morningstar ML5, but this has way more features. You can support more loops, more functions. You have a buffer, an editor software. It's so much more full-featured than something like the ML5. RJM, to me, is constantly reinventing the game and making pedal boards so much more user-friendly for musicians. I actively use the PBC6X switcher on my personal board, and it's made my board so much easier to use. There's no tap dancing. It serves as the brain of my pedal board, and I don't even have to touch any of my other pedals. It's strictly controlled by the PBC6X. And something like the MEGX, I think, is a game changer. You can do so much with this, and I personally hope to see it out there more. So for me, some of the pros, you have up to 1024 presets, which is really great. You have the new iPad editor software, so you can control this on the go. If you're at a gig or in the studio, you can use your iPad to control the presets and all the settings on this. And the coolest one to me is the split mono feature. Now that you can support up to 12 pedals on this versus just 6 is really cool to me. One of the things I would have really liked to see with this is Bluetooth capability. Using this wirelessly would have made it that much more convenient, because Apple requires certain adapters to be used to connect this to a Mac or iPad or iPhone. It can be kind of pricey and inconvenient, so wireless capability with this would have been really cool. Although the amount of features that you have with this and the amount of control, it's a small price to pay, but it would have just been a nice feature to have. And for the shameless plug, if there's anybody out there who wants to have their pedal board professionally built, you can check me out at vagabondaudio.info. There you can find all of our latest builds and get a free quote for your build. And you can find a link in the description box below. And if you like today's video, you can support the channel by leaving me a thumbs up, a comment, a subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you can check out all my upcoming videos.